I'll be happy to talk a little bit about Bankless because Bankless is actually a phenomenal example. It's more than 20,000 people who are part of the DAO, which makes it one of the largest DAOs out there. And Bankless, in a sense, also has that responsibility of kind of leading the way and kind of demonstrating how DAOs can and should work efficiently. So one of the things that Bankless has done really well, which I see a lot of other DAOs struggling in, is that they've created multiple DAOs within a DAO. So you can call them a sub DAO. Some people call it a guild. So essentially, what Bankless has done is that they've made all these various sub DAOs or pods within the main DAO, and each of these pods has a specific activity that they do, right? So maybe one of the pods is doing a particular newsletter. One of the pods is focused on a particular podcast. There's a new pod that started somewhere around January, so 6 months back, called Bankless Consulting, which just focuses on consulting. And then within that pod, they've made another 3, 4 different lines of services. What essentially that means is that once somebody joins that DAO, he can then look at all the things that this DAO is doing and then choose that specific activity which is of interest to him. So he would be immune to what the rest of the DAO is doing. He'll just contribute within the ecosystem that he has chosen to do. So this sub DAO concept is very powerful because once we get to the level where you're 20,000 people, and if you've not created those structures and processes within the DAO, then people will just completely get lost in conversation. So how do you create channels so that conversation becomes streamlined? People can find the channels that they want to follow. And it goes back to my previous point, right? I have 10 DAOs, each of them having 10, 20 channels. There's no way for me to monitor 200 channels. So I just monitor the 20 channels that I'm contributing to actively, and I don't know what's happening in the rest of those 180 channels, right? Because I know I'm not going to contribute to them, at least anytime soon. So that is a little bit about Bankless, and one of the things that Bankless is very well known for, and that is about creating those guilds, right? Second thing I want to talk about Bankless, which I personally find is absolutely mind blowing, is what is Bankless, right? It's like less than 2 years old since it started, and look at the amount of work that this DAO has done. There are like 3, 4 newsletters that come out. There are 2, 3 podcasts that happen. There's Bankless Consulting, which is doing all sides of amazing work. They're doing DAO tooling. They're doing M&A. They're doing VC investments. They're doing advisory and consulting. Right, the whole bunch of things that's happening within the consulting arm. And then there are all these podcasts. There's a Bankless Africa channel, so specifically for the African subcontinent, and it is a really vibrant channel. There's somebody who's working on a card. There's somebody who's working on an NFT process. There's an investors guild within Bankless where you can become which is basically an investment DAO, so as to speak. There's an academy which works on education. Right, so there are at least 15, 20 subdivisions which I have seen. Now think about it. Can any organization scale up so quickly that within 2 years they have like a host of products, projects, services that they have built together, right? It's just not possible. And that is one of the most powerful things that I think about. And that's one of the most powerful things about Bankless, that once you get that initial momentum, once you cross that particular level of traction, right, you start attracting people on your own. And then those people come with ideas, they implement those ideas, and they create new lines of services within the larger DAO. And that is why it expands so quickly. I mean, 15, 20 activities being done in less than 2 years, it's just unbelievable.